Hey guys, this is Rocking 3 bringing a live commentary Forza 5. And this is going to be the cars from red and blue for 1 and 2. This is going to be the parts and tune for the Alfa Romero Spider. Let's see, Quadrifoglio Verde. Oh, I'm so American sometimes. Anyway, this car overall was a blast to drive. I really like it. It's very predictable. Um, it's a good momentum car, and it competed very well. It's one of those cars that if you get down a little bit, it's hard to make up the time. But overall, it's just you can run consistent laps with it. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Go right to the parts here. We got the stock engine. We have the stock drivetrain. But I think, yes, we have the centrifugal supercharger on this one. Go down to the engine parts. We have the race intake. Hard for me to say. Sorry, multitasking a little bit there. And we have the stock fuel system. We have the stock ignition. We have the race exhaust. That was 14 horsepower for 16 PI plus a little bit of weight loss. We have the stock cams. And we have the race valves. I really don't remember doing that. But that was 10 horsepower for 8 PI. We have the stock engine block. We have the race pistons and compression. We have the race centrifugal supercharger. So overall, horsepower-wise, we have 203 horsepower. I know when Money started, his horsepower was a little bit lower, so we bumped him up a little bit so it could compete. The rest of those were stock there. We have the race brakes. Man, looking at the car right there, looks like I have the stock wheels on. I don't even realize. I remember doing that. We have the race spring and dampers. We have the race front and rear anti-roll bars, so they're adjustable. We have the stock chassis. And we have the race weight reduction, 382 pounds for 24 PI. That was a big bargain there. We're going to have the stock clutch. Always like to check while I'm here. I have the stock transmission. Really doesn't push it any further. And looks like it was a PI anyway to add the next transmission, but it doesn't say the numbers change either. We have the street drive line. You can see we have completely PI'd out at this point. We have the race differential. On the tires, this is actually a pretty interesting story. I think Money started either with the race compound or the sport compound. And we had him back down to the street compound, and he found that he really didn't lose any handling. He probably lost some braking. You can see those numbers go up tremendously, make it more of a handling car. But overall, he was saying that it really didn't seem like it handled any worse, and maybe even a little bit better. I have the upgraded front tire width to the first one here, 235/50s. And we're going to have the full upgraded rear tire width, 255/45s. Makes it very easy to drive, very predictable. I have the stock wheels. That could be something that you guys could play with. Let me see if the heaviest wheels... Yeah, the heaviest wheels, even though it's a weight reduction, it's just enough to hit the PI a little bit higher. So really, it's up to you guys. You guys can play with the PI a little bit. There's a little bit to kind of give and take there. We have the front Forza wing, and how much cooler is that with the lights blacked out like that? We have the adjustable rear spoiler. Those are actually PI plays to actually reduce the PI. Tires, we have 26.5, 26.5. That is my normal. We have the stock transmission, so no change there. Negative 40, negative 35 camber in the front, and stock 0050 for the rest of those numbers. The anti-roll bars are a little bit more even. I generally have it like about 9 and 15 for most cars. This one had a little bit of late slide out, so the back end would kind of keep going. So we had a little bit of oversteer. So I reduced that a little bit here with the bars. 10.84 in the front, 11.76 in the back. It seemed to give the rear a little bit more traction by lowering that number a little bit. The springs are actually set to understeer a little bit, and at 410.4 in the front and 363.6 in the rear. It helped keep it a little bit more stable and a little more predictable through the turns. It still turns in quite well, so I wasn't too concerned about that. The ride height was something that I raised between races, and that was because we were racing a lot of Alps, and I was bottoming out in a couple of spots. So I just went ahead and raised it up to 6.0. Rebound stiffness, I have a 10.9, 11.7 for the rear. Didn't need as much to turn in because it did pretty good on its own. Bump stiffness at 2.0 and 1.5. Aero, I just left stock. You could probably play with that quite a bit. The car is very predictable. You could probably take the downforce off of it. I generally don't concern myself too much with the downforce unless it's a speed car. Brake force, I have 53% and 200%. That's pretty normal for me. Adjust it the way you want. 44% and 40%. That was just something I threw at it, and it worked out pretty well, so I didn't really have to fine-tune that at all. Overall, this car was a blast to drive. Make sure you check out Moneyman 300's build of this. I'm sure it's going to be a little bit different, especially even from the parts perspective. We tune similarly, but I would imagine from a parts perspective you might have some give and takes there. Make sure you check out all Moneyman's cars for the Red and Blue Series and the D-Class. They're all going to be posted. I'm going to save these out here as well, so you can either download it or you can take it directly from the video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. See you guys in the C-Class. Later.